Hey there, beautiful friends. Welcome back to our study along of the World Order of Baha'u'llah, Selected Letters by Shoghi Effendi. If you're joining for the first time, come on in. Welcome. Linked below in the description, you will find the launch video for this project to give you a who, what, when, where, and why of me and this content, as well as a playlist for all of the weekly readings leading up to today. This document, if you want to follow along, a study guide to this document, and some more information about the Baha'i Faith in general. Basically, we are excavating this letter, just studying along together the series of letters to find the spiritual solutions to all of the world's problems, at least the seeds to those spiritual solutions. Before we jump in, I just want to say a huge thank you to my patrons on Patreon who support this channel and help make this possible, as well as my podcast and artwork and everything. Just wanted to say thank you. And happy November, everyone. It's feeling like November here in Texas. And it's really special because we have a big Baha'i celebration coming up this month, the centenary. I hope I'm saying that right. I'm notorious for not saying those big century words correctly. But it's 100 years since the passing of Abdu'l-Baha, the son of the Prophet, founder of the Baha'i Faith. And it's really special because we're going to be talking about some of his legacy in today's reading. So we are jumping into paragraph 24 of the letter called America and the Most Great Peace. So Shoghi Effendi has been recounting a lot of the early challenges that Baha'is in America faced. And in paragraph 24, he starts off saying, unsatisfied with the achievements which crowned the concerted efforts of their elected representatives within the American continent, and emboldened by the initial success of their pioneer teachers beyond its confines in Great Britain, France, and Germany, the community of the American believers resolved to win in distant climes fresh recruits to the advancing army of Baha'u'llah. This is a spiritual army, y'all. Setting out from the western shores of their native land and impelled by the indomitable energy of a newborn faith, these itinerant teachers of the gospel of Baha'u'llah pushed on towards the islands of the Pacific and as far as China and Japan, determined to establish beyond the farthest seas the outposts of their beloved faith. Both at home and abroad, this community had by that time demonstrated its capacity to widen the range and consolidate the foundations of its vast endeavors. The angry voices that had been raised in protest against its rise were being drowned amid the acclamations with which the East greeted its recent victories. Those ugly features that had loomed so threateningly were gradually receding into the distance, furnishing a still wider field to these noble warriors for the exercise of their latent energies. So it's really cool that the believers were pushing forward to share their faith through distant and unknown regions of the world to them, and how there was a shift in tides, right? And that's always important to remember, that where things may have been met with resistance at one point, you keep on doing what you think is the godly and right thing to do, and then sometimes receptions and environments and receptivity changes. Paragraph 25. The faith of Baha'u'llah in the continent of America had indeed been resuscitated. Phoenix-like, it had risen in all its freshness, vigor, and beauty, and was now, through the voice of its triumphant exponents, insistingly calling to Abdu'l-Baha, imploring him to undertake a journey to its shores. The first fruits of the mission entrusted to its worthy upholders had lent such poignancy to their call that Abdu'l-Baha, who had just been delivered from the fetters of a galling tyranny, 40 years of life in prison, basically, found himself unable to resist. His incomparable love for his own favored children impelled him to respond. Their passionate entreaty had, moreover, been reinforced by the numerous invitations which representatives of various interested organizations, whether religious, educational, or humanitarian, had extended to him, expressing their eagerness to receive from his own mouth an exposition of his father's teachings. Paragraph 26. Though bent with age, though suffering from ailments resulting from the accumulated cares of 50 years of exile and captivity, 50 years, Abdu'l-Baha set out on his memorable journey across the sea to the land where he might bless by his presence and sanctify through his deeds the mighty acts his spirit had led his disciples to perform. The circumstances that had attended his triumphal progress through the chief cities of the United States and Canada, my pen is utterly incapable of describing. The joys which the announcement of his arrival evoked, the publicity which his activities created, the forces which his utterances released, the opposition which the implications of his teachings excited, the significant episodes to which his words and deeds continually gave rise, these future generations will, no doubt, minutely and befittingly register. They will carefully delineate their features, will cherish and preserve their memory, and will transmit unimpaired the record of their minutest details to their descendants. It's so fun to me how Shoghi Effendi, like a parent, I think he's forecasting, but he's also telling us what he thinks would be good, right? And he's saying, I have no doubt that future generations are going to record, these true stories to the minutest details. I have no doubt that you will arise to this task with excellence and do it. And no doubt it has been done, and no doubt there's more room for bringing these incredible histories to life. It's just funny to me. It would indeed be presumptuous on our part to attempt at the present time to sketch even the bare outline of so vast, so enthralling a theme. Contemplating after the lapse of above 20 years this notable landmark in America's spiritual history, we still find ourselves compelled to confess our inability to grasp its import or to fathom its mystery. So even in 20 years, we don't have near the scope of the significance of Abdu'l-Baha's talks and travels throughout America. I have alluded in the preceding pages to a few of the more salient features of that never-to-be-forgotten visit. These incidents, as we look back upon them, eloquently proclaim Abdu'l-Baha's specific purpose to confer through these symbolic functions upon the firstborn of the communities of the West that spiritual primacy which was to be the birthright of the American believers. Dun, dun, dun. All right, my friends, we will start on paragraph 27 of America and the Most Great Peace next week, Friday, 2 p.m., or whenever you stumble upon these YouTube videos. If you enjoyed this video, please remember to hit the like button. It actually helps more people find this content. If you have any thoughts, questions, ideas, research that you want to share, please feel free to drop in the comments. Please remember to subscribe to this channel and share it with, any of your Facebook groups or friends that you think would want to hop on in and join us here. And let's see, there was something else I wanted to say. Oh, if you want to get in touch with me, you can leave a comment or you can visit JacquelineClaireArt.com/contact. And in the description, you will also find all kinds of ways that you can support this channel if you are moved and inspired to. All right, my friends, until next time, I wish you the best for playing your unique part in making this world a better place. Bye-bye.